Hello, welcome to the video notes for lesson 4-9. This lesson is on page 35 in your notes packet. This is the new section of your notes that you were just given. And this begins on page 35, and it's about the standard form for a linear function. So I know it just says standard form, but this whole unit, this whole topic has been all about linear functions. So our learning target: I can graph equations using intercepts and write equations in standard form. So we've already talked about two forms previously. One form that we've discovered and done different math with in this topic has been slope-intercept. And yes, I want you to write this down. Just as some review, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Then, oops, not p, it's b. Then we had point slope. And point slope looks like this: y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, now we're going to be dealing with a standard form, which is a times x plus b times y equals c, where a, b, and c are real numbers, preferably integers, and a and b are not both 0. Alright, so let's take a look at the example below so we can start to understand what this is all about. Okay, so the example that we have says graph the following equation. I also wanted to point something out here. What this is going to be doing is this is going to give us 2 points. The 2 points that we're going to get are a y-intercept and an x-intercept. In other words, where the line crosses the y-axis and the x-axis. And 2 points is very valuable because that's all we need. That's the bare minimum for us to be able to graph a line. Alright, so we're given the equation 6x minus 4y equals 30. So you'll notice there is our a, there is our b, and there is our c. A is 6, B is -4, C is 30. Alright, you don't really need to know much about those numbers right now, just that this is the form that it takes. This is what it looks like when you're looking at it. Alright, so we're going to start by finding what we get when x equals 0. So I'm going to take, kind of like when I do my check for solving equations, I'm going to rewrite the equation and I'm going to substitute 0 in for x. And watch what happens. So I do 6 times 0, I get 0 minus 4y, that means I have -4y equals 30. Divide both sides by -4. And then I get y equals -7.5. Now, I now have 1 point. The point that I have is 0, 7.5. And you can plot that on your graph. So I go on the x-axis, or go to the origin. X is 0, so I go up, down to 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then halfway between for -7.5. Usually we don't end up with, or try not to get a decimal. A decimal like 7.5 isn't bad. We can go in between. Anything else would be a little tricky. Now we're going to do the same thing except for with y equal to 0. And watch what happens. So I have 6x minus 4, now I plug in 0, equals 30. So again, I do my check and solve here. Negative 4 times 0 is 0, so I get 6x minus 0, which is 6x equals 30. Divide both sides by 6. Shouldn't have wrote that line there. And x is equal to 5. Y is 0, x is 5. There's my next point, 5 comma 0. So plot that point. Start at the origin, go to the right 5 spaces, 5, put a point. Now I have 2 points. Use my ruler, or in this case my line tool, connect those 2 points and try to go just past them on either side. And there is your line. So that is what we're going to be doing here, is graphing these equations. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next page, page 36, where we have 2 more examples. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through this again one time. Remember, what we're going to be doing, here's your setup. X equals 0, y equals 0. X equals 0, y equals 0. Alright? So you're going to substitute that in. So my first equation, 2x plus 5y equals 20. Oh, let's do this at the top. AX plus BY equals C. You want to make sure it's in this form, because if it is not in this form, you've got to transform it into that form. Okay? So, I'm going to substitute 0 in here for x. So I get 2 times 0 plus 5y equals 20. That's 0 plus 5y, or just 5y equals 20. So divide both sides by 5. Y equals 4. So my first point is 0 comma 4. Then I have y equals 0, so I'm going to do the same thing again. But I'm going to do 2x plus 5 times 0 this time. So 5 times 0 is 0, so I get 2x equals 20. Divide both sides by 2, and x is equal to 10. So my other point is 10, 0. Those are my x and y intercepts. So I'm not going to do the second example. I want you to work through that one on your own and share it in math. My 2 points are, again, 0 comma 4 and 10 comma 0. So 0, 4, start at the origin, go up 4, put a dot. 10, 0 is start at the origin, go to the right 10 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to the end. Now you need a ruler for this. You can't fake it. Nice straight line through both points, arrows, and you're good. You probably want to make it longer than I made mine. And then you're going to do the next one on your own. And like I said, if anybody shares the correct answer, you'll get points on your scoreboard. Next page, page 37. Write each equation in standard form using integers. Okay. This is going to be something we're going to practice together in math. So I am going to, I'll show you the first one. So here's what I'm going to do. I look at this and I have a fraction. To get rid of that fraction, I realize that I'm dividing by 5, or negative 5. But I can get rid of it by multiplying the entire thing by 5. So when I do that, I get 10y equals, the 5's cancel out, so I have negative x plus 5. Now, I want to get it in standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. So I'm going to, I got to move the x over to the other side, so I'm going to add it to both sides. I know it would be 10y plus x, but I'm going to switch it around, so it's x plus 10y equals 5. That's like saying 1x plus 10y equals 5. Alright, I want you to try the next one on your own. you'll see that we have 3 as the denominator, so let's see if you can figure out what to do with that. And then at the bottom, it says find the x and y intercepts of the equation. I'm going to talk about that. Well, that is just substituting 0 in for x and 0 in for y, but we're going to talk about that together in math. So if you had any trouble with what we've done so far, I want you to go back and rewatch the video or come see me for help. Good luck, and we'll see you in math.